way that they manipulated and altered and deleted things is wrong. They should not be able to do it, and they have. And for you to be able to look me in the eye knowing that the things are altered and...
You pled guilty, man.
Mr. Michaels, you are not to address the state. You are to address me. You are. You're addressing Mr. Giordani. You are going to address me.
I don't know what to do anymore.
Judge, I'm not comfortable with this record. I'm willing to let her out of her plea if the court's inclined.
I don't know how to face this.
Ms. Michaels, I need you to understand what I'm saying to you and answer my question.
Yes.
Do you want to withdraw your plea and go to trial?
Yes, please.
All right. This plea is going to be withdrawn.
She said she loved him more than anything in the world. He said they'd be together forever. But when the trust broke, so did the silence. And what followed were 3 gunshots, 1 man dead, and 1 woman accused of murder. Devyn Michaels was only 22 when her life, and someone else's, came to a violent end. She lived with her boyfriend Devyn McCormick in a North Las Vegas apartment. Devyn was 24, smart, good-looking, ambitious. He worked in real estate and was starting to build a future. Together, they looked like the perfect couple.
Hey everyone, it's me, Devyn Michaels. We are on our final hour of our open house over here at 9179 Smugglers Beach Court. It is right off of Blue Diamond in El Capitan. Come say hi.
But what was happening behind closed doors was far from perfect. The relationship had cracks, ones that kept getting deeper. There were constant fights, accusations, tears. Friends said Devyn was insecure and jealous. Devyn was distant and sometimes careless with her emotions. According to people close to them, Devyn often checked his phone, questioned who he talked to, and doubted where he went. Devyn at times shut down, but something was always simmering beneath the surface. On the night of June 14th, 2024, things finally boiled over. It was past midnight when Devyn allegedly found messages on Devyn's phone. Messages from another woman, playful, flirty, some even suggested plans to meet. What followed was explosive, shouting, pacing, slamming doors. Neighbors would later tell police they heard glass break. And then, 3 shots rang out. At 2:57 a.m., a neighbor called 911. I heard screaming, then gunshots. It sounded close. When police entered the apartment, Devyn McCormick was lying on the floor, unarmed. He had 2 gunshot wounds to the chest, 1 more grazing his shoulder. He died before medics could do anything. Right beside his body was Devyn, sitting on the floor crying, holding herself. She didn't try to run. She didn't lie. She just kept saying, I didn't mean to. I just snapped. The gun was a 9mm handgun, registered to Devyn. Devyn's fingerprints were on the grip. There were no signs of a struggle, no defensive wounds, nothing to suggest she was in danger. At first, detectives considered if this was self-defense. But then, more layers began to unravel. Devyn's phone showed a string of angry messages she sent to Devyn hours before the shooting. If I find out you lied to me, one message said, you'll regret it. Another, don't come back here tonight. I'm done playing nice. Then came the surveillance footage. At around 10:14 p.m. that night, cameras showed Devyn leaving the apartment building. She returned just before 2:30 a.m. with what appeared to be a small bag in her hand. Police believe that bag held the weapon. One neighbor's Ring camera captured some of the audio from the fight. Screaming, accusations. Then, silence. Then the unmistakable sound of gunfire. The evidence was piling up. It wasn't just a fight gone wrong. It looked like a decision. Devyn was arrested at the scene. No resistance, no denial. She admitted she was angry, but said she never meant to kill him, only to scare him, to make him listen. At her first hearing, prosecutors charged her with first-degree murder. They claimed the shooting was planned, that Devyn had time to cool down, that she left, got the gun, came back, and pulled the trigger with intent. Her defense team painted a different picture. They said she was a young woman pushed to the edge, that she had no criminal history, that she suffered from extreme emotional instability. and that Jaden had manipulated her for months. Psychologists brought in to evaluate Devyn diagnosed her with symptoms of borderline personality disorder, severe fear of abandonment, emotional extremes, impulsive, sometimes violent reactions. They argued that on the night of the murder, Devyn had a mental breakdown and snapped, but the court wasn't convinced. The judge denied bail, called her a potential threat, and set a trial date for September 2025. As of today, Devyn Michaels is sitting in a cell at the Clark County Detention Center. If convicted, she could face life in prison without the possibility of parole. Jaden's family has stayed mostly silent, except for one post by his sister, which simply read, "He trusted her, and she shot him." That's all there is to say. Some say it was heartbreak, some say it was obsession, others believe it was cold-blooded murder. But one thing is clear, this wasn't just a fight, it was the end of a love story, and the beginning of a courtroom battle that will decide whether Devyn Michaels spends the rest of her life behind bars, all over a few messages, and a gun fired 3 times.